This is ours.
That's got the most voters in it.
We refuse to be anybody's slave. I don't incite violence. I incite defense.
Protesters flooded Twin Cities streets last summer, at times turning destructive. Experts say the rioting served as an ideal backdrop for members of the Boogaloo Boys.
I'm a free American, and I believe in freedom. It should lead all free men to this. I believe freedom of all Americans is under attack, regardless of race, religion, or creed. All of the rights to all of the people! All rights to all the people!
The Boogaloo phrase actually is an obscure movie reference from the early 1980s.
The Boogaloo term is used by extremists to reference a violent uprising or impending civil war in the United States.
The issue in this country is not your neighbor that voted for Biden or your uncle that voted for Trump. The issue has always been the politicians using the power of the government to, let's say, oppress your neighbors.
If we all stood together just one day, we could take this country back.
Stand by!
We are one body, Americans, black, white, brown, yellow, green, purple. I don't care if you're gay, I don't care if you're straight, I don't care if you're a Jew, a Christian, a Muslim, an atheist. Listen here, if you love this country and you're willing to defend each and every one of us, I will be with you.
You got 20-year-olds, you got 30-year-olds, you got 40-year-olds, you got 50-year-olds, you got 60-year-olds, all out here for one reason. And the reason is they're sick and tired of freedoms getting stripped for no reason, so that the government can have more power, so that they can have more influence, so they can do more when we want them to do less. Because the more that they do, the more shit they fuck up.
54% of Americans believe the biggest threat to our way of life is other people in the United States.
There are armed, disturbed people who are in this state of mind where they believe that their country is being taken from them. And so it's a threat law enforcement in the States has to take very seriously.
Sergeant Damon Gutzwiller was shot and killed in the ambush in the small mountain community of Ben Lomond over the weekend. Authorities have taken this man into custody. He is Air Force Staff Sergeant Stephen Carrillo.
Tonight, an active duty Air Force sergeant already jailed in the ambush killing of a sheriff's deputy in California is facing new charges of murdering a federal officer.
The complaint alleges that the patch and the phrases written by Carrillo are associated with the so-called Boogaloo movement.
We're getting new information about fears of an insider attack on Inauguration Day. Defense officials say they're worried about threats from service members involved in securing President-elect Biden's inauguration. The FBI is now vetting 25,000 National Guard troops going to Washington for the event.
We want all of the rights for all of the people, all of the time.
Shalom. I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Mama. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder of this camp as well, the Harawan Ban Yasharala. Shalom to the sincere Akim pushing this truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the Karab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I'll be coming out a little quick here. I won't be before you too long. Without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. This is Second Edgers, chapter 15. I'm going to start at verse 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague, and the punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. Egypt is going to mourn. Right now, this place is known as spiritually Sodom and Egypt. And this place is going to mourn. And as you can see, this place is mourning with the Boogaloo boys and this division, amongst the house of Esau. It's going to be smitten with the plague of destruction, punishment. The Most High and the Most High is bringing this upon this place. I'm gonna jump down. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." It's talking about woe to the world of what? The world Esau, the world of America. You know, not world in the sense of oikoumene, but world in the sense of cosmos. You know, or kingdom per se. But continuing, it says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. One person shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." Are we not seeing this right now? Do we not see this with this video? You know, the sword and destruction draweth nigh, meaning the judgment of this place draweth nigh. It's coming close. One people shall stand up to fight against another people. That's happening. You know, eventually these supposed Boogaloo boys, this leaderless militia, if you know, as it has been said, you know, they're rising up. Well, eventually you're gonna have other militias that may be leaderless or have a leader that's gonna rise up against these Boogaloo boys, and that's gonna be sword in hand, man against man. Continuing, verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Are we not seeing this right now with the Boogaloo boys? You seen what these Edomites were talking about? You know, they standing up to fight for their country. You know, they're saying this is our, not the government's, and stuff like that. Well, that's what's going on. This is sedition. That riot, and also that storming of the Capitol. That was sedition as well. They call that sedition. They're gonna be invading one another. It's gonna be hell out here, you know. And it says, "They shall not regard their kings nor princes." As you can see, these Boogaloo boys, they don't care about the government. They don't care about the laws and the laws of the land and the statutes and the penal codes and stuff that Esau set up. They're quite literally they're an armed militia. They got all kind of ARs and 508s and all that stuff. But it says, again, "They shall not regard their kings nor princes." They're not gonna regard authority, as you can see by these Boogaloo boys. "They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power." And the course of their action is standing in their power, as you can see right now. You know what I'm saying? They're taking up arms, and they're taking the power into their own hands. You know, they're not regarding the authority. But this is just another indication of a house divided. This is Matthew chapter 12. I'm going to start at verse 25. It says, "And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." So we seen a divide in the kingdom of Esau. And it says every kingdom divided against itself, it's going to be brought to desolation. And this place is going to be brought to desolation. Thus saith Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. This is every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So every city and or house divided against itself, it cannot stand. And as you can see, this house of Babylon, this house of Esau, it cannot stand. Roughly, they say, how long is an age or a kingdom? Roughly, a kingdom lasts about 250 years, and then the demise happens. Well, it's time for America, because it's been about 240 something years, you know, that America's been up and running. So it's past due. That's why the Lord said the downfall of this place is going to be a great downfall. But continuing, last point. It says, "And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then his kingdom, so like how shall then his kingdom stand?" So if Satan is divided against Satan and divided against himself, how can his kingdom stand? How these Edomites are going to stand? They're divided against each other. They have leaderless militias and probably other various militias that are going to take up arms. Get ready. It's finna get serious out here. Shalom.